I'm not really much of a Drake fan anymore, right? But I gotta be honest, I think that because of the whole Kendrick Lamar stuff, people are kind of being very biased towards him, right? And I think they wanted a reason to get him up out of here, but I don't really like his music now anyway. I haven't liked Drake's music for years, right? Used to be a Drake fan back in the day. But let's see what this YouTuber Jamari has to say about this, right? They made a video about it.
So at this point, we are officially a month removed from the climax of the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef. For Kendrick, he has mostly been silent other than an appearance that he made back in his hometown of Compton, where he gave a surprise speech during a graduation at Compton's community college.
I'm proud of y'all. I'm proud of the city of Compton. I'm proud of Compton College. You know, y'all had a lot of hardship, not only in your house, in your communities, but most importantly, within yourself. And that's the toughest thing to overcome. When I walk out in these cities and these countries, I can be proud and say, this is where I'm from.
Other than that, it has been radio silence from the victim.
So it's just nothing but positivity. I do think that he does a lot of stuff just for the cameras, bro. Right? A lot of this fake revolutionary stuff, 100%. But he's doing positive things. Who cares, man?
Of this beef. But for Drake, you could pretty much say the exact opposite. He has been back to posting his sassy captions on Instagram. First, we got this gem where he says that the only yes man around him is his Rolex dealer. He also took some time to hit the Dallas Mavericks with the classic Drake curse. And he also posted this photo at his son's soccer game of himself, saying that goats don't worry about what.
Somebody took a picture of him. Goats don't worry about one-trick ponies. Yeah, this nigga do sound kind of hurt. He sound hurt as hell.
One-trick ponies. To me, this post, along with everything else Drake has done since waving the white flag, has the same energy as a woman who got broken up with and keeps posting onto her Instagram story that she swears she's not hurt. She swears she's out having fun at the club. Maybe she posts some messages she's gotten from thirsty guys in her DMs. All while still throwing shots at said ex she apparently could care less about. The other thing about this photo is that Drake is seemingly wearing the same outfit that Kendrick wore on the cover of Mr. Morale. And while...
Is that the same outfit? Man, that could be an ill coincidence. That could be a coincidence. He's not wearing a whole... because he got the sweater or whatever.
Is seemingly wearing the same outfit that Kendrick wore on the cover of...
Nah, bro. Nah, that's a reach. Kendrick is wearing
Mr. Morale.
Like
and while some might just see this as a big coincidence, I feel like when it comes to Drake, everything is very intentional. Also, who's out here letting Drake around kids? I hope his buddy Baca isn't around. People also speculated that the caption...
I gotta be honest, bro. I think that's so disgusting. Right? When it comes to Drake, right, there's a lot of stuff that I think he probably does have to explain as far as the whole Baca situation. I do think that's something that probably should be clarified, but I don't like false accusations being spread without actual proof of anything, right? Like, let's get it documented. Let's take this nigga to court, right? Let's send him to jail. But if your only, I guess, proof is Kendrick said it, so it must be true, I can't rock with that. Because Drake also said some stuff about Kendrick, and Kendrick didn't deny it at all, right? So I would like people to, I don't know, actually use logic when thinking about stuff like that and not, well, I don't like this person's raps, so he must be a criminal. That's nasty. And for YouTubers to even start spreading that too as well, it's pretty foul. It's pretty foul, right? Can't blame Drake for probably backing out and not wanting to engage with this anymore. I do think that that's too far. And no, that's not hip hop. People might say that it is. Nah. I think that there's definitely lines that shouldn't be crossed. And I think Drake and Kendrick Lamar both crossed those lines, right? As far as all the other stuff, right? Yeah, I need to see actual proof.
And here was obviously a dig at Kendrick with a reference to an old movie called One Trick Pony, where the premise reads, Jonah is a once popular folk rock musician trying to put together a new album in the face of an indifferent record company executive and a talentless producer. At the same time, he's trying to save his failing marriage. So I guess that's the angle that he seemingly still wants to run with, is like bad husband Kendrick Like at this point, Drake is putting more thought into his Instagram post and outfits than he did his final response, which, by the way, he has deleted from his Instagram page, as well as every other post involving this beef. To many people, this was him officially bowing out of the beef. You know, I thought it was J.
Kind of makes it seem, I was about to say, it kind of makes it seem like J. Cole was right.
Cole who was saying that he might delete later, but it's looking like Drake is going to take that path as well. Now, speaking of Drake's best diss, Family Matters, which is actually very good, we did get some intel into how Kendrick was basically waiting for Drake to drop a track so that he could step all over it with Meet the Grams, and of course, the instant classic, Not Like Us.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna give you some real insight as you hearing this first. They drop Family Matters, and I text him, I'm like, this ain't it. He's like, at all. I'm like, this ain't gonna get it. I was like, man, it's time to step on his head. He was like, say less. I'm thinking we just it ain't nothing deep like that. It's right. I go to the
Family Matters is actually a hard track, right? Family Matters, that's the one that Drake dropped, right? I think that was actually hard. I think that Drake spent too much time trying to do music videos for it. He should have just stayed in the studio and just constantly kept writing, making new music. That'd have probably been the best bet. Right, going against Kendrick, because Kendrick, that was his strategy. You ain't got to do music videos. I could just keep dropping songs after song after song. Nigga, especially if you are at the skill level that he is, all you got to do is literally stay in the studio all day. You can have like 10 diss songs within the next 3 days. Drake should have been on that same type of time.
Bathroom. I come back. The motherfucking song is uploaded. I text him like, nigga, you already... He's like, man, I've been waiting for this nigga to drop. So... he didn't even know what he was going against. Man, Drake shot a video and all this shit, man. That guy was at the Dodge crib. Caravan. Boom, boom. You listen.
Suck the lights out of the whole moment.
Sometimes you just got to know what to do and what not to do.
So as many predicted, Kendrick had that song waiting on deck. And I would have to assume the same about the kill shot that everyone and their mothers have been dancing to. And yes, I know Drake will be fine and still have a very successful career, but the optics of this have done damage to his career.
He gonna take a hit, right? Like, I think that because the way Drake is built, right? I always tell people I was really impressed with Meek Mill after Drake ended up doing the same thing to him. He's getting calmer. The same thing that happened to Meek Mill. Meek Mill had to listen to a bunch of people singing diss songs about him in the club. Famous rappers dancing on stage to the song about him. Snoop Dogg, I remember, did that. Was on stage at an award show. It had nothing to do with nothing. He started singing and dancing to the song dissing Meek Mill. I'm like, damn, bro, that's intense. Meek Mill had to deal with that for years and then came out with one of the best albums he ever did in his life. And then now it's under the rug, right? People don't really care about that. They bring it up occasionally when they talk about just the history of like beef with Drake and this dude. But other than that, it don't really get brought up. His career has gone on. Drake can do the same thing, right, if he just focuses on his music. But he could have handled this better overall. He could have handled this way better. Way better. Hold on. Is my thing getting stuck? My damn mouse. Give me a second. I hate when this happens. There you go.
That he can never really brush under the rug. You got kids dancing along to this song.
Wow.
And college bands playing it in unison at pep rallies. In contrast, Drake would make an appearance at a pool party where he would look incredibly uncomfortable as they played his older record with Sexy Red. Now let's be honest, had the DJ decided to play Not Like Us, yes, it would have been a legendary moment, but I feel like that night he would have been murdered by Drake and his team. We know this is a fact because his in-house producer and right-hand man Novio 40 allegedly threatened a Toronto DJ named DJ Cypher Sounds after he decided to play the Not Like Us record in Toronto.
So I'm in Toronto, I get a DM from 40. He said, how about I go to your city and play a song where someone calls you a... And he goes, I knew you never liked us. You act nice, but you're really a bitch. When I see you...
I'm going to be honest. You can't play defense on that. if you a DJ or anyway, and you playing that song and blasting it, with the disgusting things that's being said about Drake, you can't say that you're not against Drake. If you are promoting that and you bumping that in the club, all the songs there are, you don't have to. So that's like a blatant shot. And what it tells me is that people just did not like Drake. They wanted him to lose. That's not me defending him. I'm just stating facts. Now, it could be that he's been doing a lot of dirtbag stuff behind the scenes for years, probably.
I'm going to smack you in the mouth.
So you know his camp is also feeling the heat. Either way, the crowd here looks completely dead, as most of them stare at Drake as if he's some sort of animal at the zoo. Also, wearing those baggy-ass denim jeans in the Houston, Texas heat is certainly a choice. Like, yes, Drake, we know you got swamp ass. And somehow, even a month later, Drake's biggest fans are still coping and scrambling for him, trying to make up false narratives. Several of his biggest dick rider pages have attempted to get these stories off the ground, claiming that Kendrick also used ghostwriters in the past. You know, after they were in band.
We could just solve that right now, actually. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at Kendrick's first album, right? A lot of you guys don't know this, right? Well, just people within the industry of music scene don't know that a lot of these rappers all use writers because the way writing happens. The way credits work, if someone makes a few suggestions, they get credited as a writer. So on his first album, if we were to go to a song that's not featuring anybody, he has multiple writers on here credited. Multiple writers. The Art of Peer Pressure has multiple writers. Duckworth is Kendrick Lamar, right? Okay, this has two other writers under the Art of Peer Pressure. But let me show it to you. Let me show you guys the screen real quick. Because let's just be accurate, right? And it's going to sound like I'm defending Drake. No. Because yes, Drake has had ghostwriters. He has also wrote for a lot of people like Lil Wayne, Dr. Dre, Dickie Simmons. Probably a lot of other people that don't talk about it. Maybe even, no, I'm not going to say that person. I haven't confirmed that yet. All right. There you go. You see all these listed names under writers? Only one of these names is Kendrick Lamar. And that's Duckworth. All these other names, guys, counts as writers. So sometimes the producer will give you some things to say. Hey, say it like this, do it like this. I have a few songs like that, to where my producer friend, who was literally sitting right here when we recorded it, sing it like this, say this word instead, right? It's a collaborative effort. Look at all the damn names on these damn songs, bro. If he wrote all of this independently, it would have just been one name. I've seen a plethora of albums like that, like Upchurch's album, where he's doing everything himself, writing wise, it's just all him. This is crazy. Pharrell co-wrote this, bro. Pharrell co-wrote Good Kid. So yeah, we just want to nip that in the butt right there. Yes, a lot of these mainstream rappers all have writers. That is a fact. That's not even something that's an estimate. No, it's true. Hate to break it to you. Favorite rapper that's mainstream probably has writers or people that have helped him write. Part of the game.
Embarrassed by all those different reference tracks.
Even to this credit, I feel like you're still battling these ghostwriting rumors and this type of thing. I pulled my weight when it came to my pen. It wasn't like I needed somebody to facilitate, entire ideas. We worked together. Anybody that knows me knows that my strongest talent is writing. And any song that really, really did damage for me, I've wrote every single lyric.
Sick of these niggas. Sick of these bitches. Hire shooter. You better be bitches.
But in the end, these attempts were a failure, as it was quite obvious that Kendrick was the one making reference tracks for other people. In this situation, it was specifically for fellow TDE member J-Rock, And there was also this page trying to say that Janae Aiko wrote a verse for Kendrick as well, but this was also quickly debunked with a simple Google search of that song. Like she literally went back and made her part of the song better after Kendrick sent his verse. I don't know, it's just hilarious to me that these people who are trying to defend Drake always end up in turn making Kendrick look even better.
Yo, he just called out people for D-Rod and Drake, right? Would he call this him doing the same thing for Kendrick right here? But yes, both parties, Drake and Kendrick, both had people write for them.
And it's like he hasn't even had to say anything for over a month and he's still somehow winning. In terms of more behind the scenes intel, Elliot Wilson, who has been Drake's very trusted friend for years, like he gave him that exclusive interview, now took to the Joe Budden podcast to say this.
Nigga send me a rat emoji. Because I think he started to think like Venice, like Kendrick's in Venice, you're in Venice, like.
But you so thirsty, you not concerned with investigation. Instead, you in that Venice studio, it's a celebration.
So I had to view it like I'm just really against him. So when he dropped Family Matters, it was just like, I was like, yo, you dropping this tonight? He'd be back like, yeah, whatever, LOL, like, da-da-da. And then he sent me a rat emoji. And I'm like, I hit him with the 50 Cent. I was like, what the shit me for? Like, blah, blah, like. But I didn't like that shit. Don't send me a fucking rat emoji.
So by him sending Elliot that emoji, obviously that's his way of calling him a rat. And it's also alluding to the idea that he was the mole in his camp that he swore he did not have on the Heart Part 6. And not only is he admitting that there's some...
But Elliot's not in his camp, though. That dude was not in his camp.
Mole in his camp, a double agent if you will, but he still does not know who it is. And that's apparently not even the only person who Drake has problems with behind the scenes, as academics would let us in on a little secret that there's another massive rapper in the game who has collaborated with Drake in the past on a massive hit, who also hates him.
Yo, I found out Drake has an op that none of us know. That is a huge rapper that we all think is his friend. I mean, some of y'all have guessed it, like, is he and him cool? But we're like, no, they got big records together. No, that nigga hates him too. I'm like, what?
So, of course, everyone speculated that that was Travis Scott, who obviously has sicko mode under his belt where Drake has an iconic verse. Look, all I'm saying is don't be surprised when we see other rappers now start popping off and taking shots at Drake while he's at his most vulnerable that we've seen him since the Pusha T diss. Lastly, Drake would also release that garbage parody of Hey There Delilah, which was just god-awful. Like, I don't even care if it's a parody. Seeing people like Maul try and put his cape on to defend this shit of a song is hilarious.
Why wouldn't you like this with a little bit of, you know, drill sprinkled into it a little bit?
Where's the drill?
I have not heard this damn song that they're referencing. I have not heard this song. I didn't know Drake is even just releasing troll songs.
Drill Maul to the
except for that BBO Drizzy joint.
But I want to know what you guys think about these updates.
I think both Drake and Kendrick are nasty. If I'm just